Just kidding. It's my garage. I have the most amazing story for you guys. Make sure you click the like button, hit subscribe, and let's get going. This whole table is filled completely to the max with all of the squashes that I was able to get at a local farm for $1 a piece, which I am absolutely so blessed at the fact that I was able to get basically a winter's worth of squashes at such an amazing price, because as you guys know, all I was able to do this year is pumpkins. Although, let me show you what I found. Out of all like the 10 varieties that I actually planted this year, I was able to grow 4 butternut squashes. And this is how big they got. So if you're looking for individual sizes of butternut squashes, I'm your girl. They're the saddest looking squashes, but I am so incredibly proud of them. It's a bit ridiculous. However, that's not the exciting part I have for you guys today. I went down to the local farm and I have been getting a CSA box for a while with this farm. And it's the end of the season. I kept asking, you know, what do you do? Are you going to be selling seconds? And anytime that someone says that they're going to be selling seconds, that means it's produce that doesn't look perfect. So it's a lot of like the imperfected ones, or maybe there's like a split on it, or maybe it's not quite as red as it should be, maybe a little bit orange. Say if it's a tomato, or if it's a squash, it's maybe got some hail damage, so it won't store as long. So I was asking my local farmer, we get the CSAs, what are you guys going to do with your tomatoes? Because I would still love to be able to make a tomato sauce and a pizza sauce. And I have some tomatoes set aside in the freezer. Those are pretty much mostly for like tomato juice and whatnot. But I was like, I really want to get my hands on some more tomatoes because I wasn't able to grow as many this year. So the farmer said, go nuts. Grab all the green tomatoes that you want. Go have fun. And it was all for free. So let me show you how many tomatoes I was able to get from my farmer, because it is crazy. The first time I went, this is not it. The first time I went by myself, and I have these Costco bags that are this big, and I filled the whole thing up. I came home, and my husband's like, where on earth did you get so many tomatoes? Now, mind you, they're all green, and that's fine. So my husband goes, where on earth did you get all those green tomatoes? So I told him, Little Shack Farm. And I'll link their Instagram page down below because they're a fantastic farm. And he goes, holy cow, what are you going to be doing with all these tomatoes? And I'm like, I don't know yet. So then Rebecca from the farm messaged me and she said, hey, we're completely clearing everything out this weekend. If you want, you can come and grab even more if you want, or something along the lines of that. So I went back with my husband and we got 2 of these Costco bags completely full. Now, I need to find space to lay them out nicely so that they can start ripening up and going red. And that's what we're going to do with me today. I am so incredibly blessed that we were able to grab all of these tomatoes. In total, I have 3 of these massive Costco bags, which are gigantic, and I got them all for free. I feel so incredibly blessed in my life right now that I'm able to do this. But in the meantime, we gotta get these guys going red. So I'm gonna clear off this whole table. I've got some sunflower seeds that I've been saving for the winter. I've got a fun project with that to do. And I'm gonna lay out all the tomatoes, or as many as I can, out on this table, and you're coming along with me. Let's go. this one thing before we get started with the green tomatoes. Whenever you harvest squash, you're supposed to leave the entire stem, which is what I did. Then they say you're supposed to leave about 2 to 3 inches on either side of the stem just to make sure that it really has a lot of time to cure. And I guess like the nutrients from the vine can go back into the pumpkin and really seal itself off, which as you can see, I did probably more than you're supposed to or more than you need to. But life always throws you a curveball. I wanted to show you this because I do have some mold growing. And I don't know if there was, like I wiped all of these down and I gave them, I did 50-50 vinegar and water mix, and I still ended up with this splotch. It just goes to show you, you can do everything right. I didn't have to do a vinegar wash, but I did. I didn't have to leave as much vine, but I did, just to be really cautious. And I still ended up with some mold growing. And that's okay because I'm just gonna cut it out and we're gonna be eating this tomorrow. And what I actually like to do is I like to go through what my kids call the store, and I like going through all of my fresh produce. So basically right now it's my carrots, my onions, my squash, and I like, and my garlic. And I like going through everything once a weekend. I do that on Sunday nights after dinner, just so I can get myself ready for the week coming up, because then I can see, okay, what do I need to pull off the shelf? What am I gonna make with it? How am I gonna kind of organize it? Because the last thing that you want to have happen, and I've had this happen before, is to have, and it usually happens with my onions a lot more than anything else, is to have one bad onion and then it's like chicken pox. It just spreads like crazy. So I like going through my produce. It's a pain in the butt, but with the amount of effort and money, mind you, I only spent $1 on these each, which it's not a huge amount of money. But if I get into the habit of not checking, then instead of only maybe cutting out a little piece, I might be losing 4 or 5, plus the mess, plus the smell, and all of that kind of, you know, cascading stuff that happens when you have rotting produce. So on Sunday nights is my night, and one of these episodes, I'll take you through what my kind of ritual is on a Sunday night. I go through all my produce, I see what needs to be, you know, taken off the shelf if need be, like this guy, and I plan my week that way. So this is gonna be on the docket to be cooked tomorrow. I have absolutely no idea what I'm gonna do with this other than I'm gonna be cutting it out. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys that, and let's get back to the green tomatoes. The squash was over here, and there was actually some residue and a wet spot on the cardboard. So I ended up just pitching it, and I went through my recycling box and I found this like random cardboard in there. And anytime I go to a store, I make it kind of a habit to just bring boxes home and just taking off the tape or looking for boxes that don't have a shiny film on it, because that's, I think it's coated with plastic when it has a shiny film, and you never know when you need it in the garden. So I like kind of hoarding a little bit, like I don't go crazy, just a little bit, like 3 or 4 boxes off to the side when we come home from groceries or just running errands and whatnot. So I just replaced the cardboard that the squash was on. So I've got a brand new piece, and I tried to cover the table as much as possible. And I find that tomatoes do really well when they just sit on cardboard. I've tried having it on towels before. That doesn't do very well. I've tried directly on this table actually. That went terrible. I don't know what it is about cardboard that like green tomatoes really like to ripen on, but I've never ever had a problem. I've had problems when I haven't used cardboard. I'll be laying them out just kind of one layer, and hopefully I have enough space, because if I don't, I actually don't know what my backup plan is. A final once over, because as you're picking up really quickly, now mind you, my husband and I picked these in less than 5 minutes because we had to go get the kids from school. How awesome is this? I haven't even counted these. I still have this one that hasn't turned yellow or orange. It's starting to, it's getting a little orange over here. So I'm just gonna set this guy off to the side. because I want to keep an eye on him. But look at this huge blessing. Plus, I've got those 4 crates in that random box full of green tomatoes. So thanks for spending some time with me today. I know it's just a really short episode on green tomatoes. I can't wait to have you guys come along with me while I process these and see what I come up with. Until next time, make sure you click the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye guys.